Advanced Algebra 6.5 using the unit circle. Now with these problems, we're going to be finding angles. So first of all, we're going to start off by finding angles in degrees, and then we'll find them in radians. Now I know that because this says right here that this is in degrees. And this, it's a little bit lost here, part of it. This really means that we're looking in radians, so we have that 2 pi. Now, we're looking in one full revolution. We're going to have a lot of these answers are going to have, there's going to be 2 values in there. So here's what we're going to do. So first I'm looking at sine, that means I'm looking at my y value. This is my given y value. 0 is my y value. I'm going to draw a little sketch here. If my y is 0, that means I'm not going up at all. I'm right here along this axis. So I want the angle over here and the angle over here. That first angle is 0 degrees. The second angle is 180 degrees. Like I said, we're going to have 2 angles a lot of times with this. All right, let's do another one here. Cosine equals 1. Cosine is my x value. So I want my x value to be 1. So x is 1, and it's going to be right over here. Actually, so I'm just going over here. I only have one place for this. So that's going to be at 0 degrees. Now that interval here, it does not include 360. It only includes 0, so I don't have to include 360 on this. I can go right up to 360, but not quite reach it. Tangent is undefined, so that means my slope is undefined. When my slope is undefined, I have a flip line. It's going to be right along here. I have an angle up here and an angle down here. So at the very top, that's going to be 90 degrees. And at the bottom, that's going to be 270 degrees. So those were all at the quadrants. Okay, let's look at some of the next ones where they're not going to be in between the 2 quadrants. Be a little bit in the middle here. So we have sine. Again, sine is y. So I'm going to draw my x and y axis. I have a positive value here. So I'm looking for when sine is positive, so I'm going to be looking up in the top 2 quadrants. And the square root of 2 over 2 is the middle one, so it's going to be right here. This middle angle here and this middle angle here. Okay, because I know I'm looking in those 2 quadrants because y is positive there. First one is going to be 45 degrees. Second one would be then 135. Once you have your picture and you know where in your unit circle, it can be actually fairly easy. Again, I don't have to build my whole unit circle to be doing this. I'm using my understanding of these different trig values. So cosine. Cosine is my x. So I'm looking for an x value that's negative. That means I'm going to be looking on the left side. These 2 quadrants are going to be where my answers are. This square root of 3 over 2, that's a big number. So I'm going to be going really far to the left, so I'm going to be going close to that x-axis. So that angle closest to the x-axis on the top is 150 degrees, and the bottom is 210 degrees. Tangent. Tangent is my slope. Okay, slope here, -1. So negative slope. So my line is going to be going down. So I'm going to be going down like this. With a -1, I go down 1 over 1. It's going to go right through the middle here in both of them. So for this, my one up here in the second quadrant, that middle one is 135. In the third quadrant, my middle one is 315. If you don't know what those are too, you can think it's 45 degrees away, and so you could, you could take 90 and add 45. You could take 180 and subtract 45. Same thing with the 360 and 270. It's either adding or subtracting 45. That could help you get those values. I'm going to switch down to the radian one now, since I've been working a lot with degrees. Same kind of thing. Okay, where I have to find these, the beginning of finding this, so my sine is my y value. I'm going to draw this, so my y is a negative value. Y is negative down in the bottom 2 quadrants. I'm going square root of 3 over 2, so I'm going really far down. So I'm going to be really close to this x-axis, or the y-axis. And Now the thing is though, I'm doing this in radians, so I need to know what my denominator is. Both these are going to have the same denominator. So that one down further. So I really want to know, what is this angle right here? How many angles could I have in that half, or that size? There's 3 angles at one side, so my denominator is going to be 3 for both of these. Okay. I have 3 equal sections on the top. I have to go one more section, so this will be 4 pi over 3. And then in the 4th quadrant, going all the way around would be 6 sections. 3 in the top, 3 in the bottom. I'm 1 shy of those 6 sections, so I'm at 5 pi over 3. So again, the more you know about how you build those in the unit circle, you'll be able to figure out those radian angles better. Okay, let's try 2 more here, this cosine and then this tangent. So cosine is my x value. I have a positive x value here, so I'm going to be on the right side. 1/2 is a small number, so I'm not going that far to the right side. So I'm going to be up. So I'm really close to that y-axis there. They have the same reference angle. You can think of that. All these will have the same reference angles as you're drawing them throughout. So I need to know what that angle is. So this one, it's that bigger angle here again. So how many angles can I have in the top half that are that big? We have 3 of them. So my angle here is going to be over 3. First quadrant, just 1 pi over 3. In the 4th quadrant, 3 sections on the top, 3 in the bottom, 6. But I'm 1 shy of getting there, so 5 pi over 3. So I subtracted 1 off of 6. The last one I said I was going to do here was tangent. This is a slope. Slope is positive, so when I'm positive, I'm going to be going up here and down and here, so cutting kitty corner for my tangent. Square root of 3 divided by 3. That division of 3 makes this a smaller slope. I'm not going as high. I'm going down here. I'm going down here. It's kind of a shallow one. It's going to be close to that x-axis. So this angle that I have here close to this x-axis, I'm looking at how many of those I could have in the top half. I could have 6 of those angles that are that size. So both of these are going to be over 6. In the first quadrant, this is going to be 1 pi over 6. So in the top, I have 6 of those sections. I want to go 1 more section to get into the 3rd quadrant, so 7 pi over 6. You know, it may take listening to this a few times to be able to see, okay, trying some out and then checking your answers, but you do want to be practicing these and doing them. Really on any test or quiz, you know which questions you could be asked. You just have quite a few possibilities of different combinations you could be asked. Remember, when you're looking for the angles, there are many angles that you could have for answers here. We are just looking in one revolution, but we could have anything that's coterminal with these angles. So remember that unit circle is a tool. You don't necessarily have to memorize it, but use it as a tool to be able to find these different values.